Hey everybody, welcome back to In the Line of Faith. I'm Matt, glad that you're here. I want to take a few minutes today and talk about something that's gotten a whole lot bigger than I ever expected it to. And bigger than it should, I think, but that's just my own personal opinion. If you've been online or watched the news lately, you've probably seen the video of a 16-year-old girl running onto a football field during a middle school game and taking down another player. That girl is my daughter, Addison. So, let me tell you where I'm coming from. I'm her father. I love my daughter, and I'm going to defend my daughter. But that doesn't mean I'm going to tell you that she did everything perfectly or she should have gotten onto the field or whatever. I'm not saying that. She shouldn't have. She knows that. I know that. But here's what bothers me. Millions of people can watch a few seconds of a video and think that they've seen the whole story, and they haven't. They've seen the ending. They haven't seen what caused it. They've seen the explosion. They didn't see the fuse. And according to my family, who was at the game, watching right there had already been pushing and mouthing and rough play going on several plays previous. Things were getting heated. Then comes the part that you've probably seen on the video. The play moves down the field while my son is on the ground with another player on top of him, hitting him in the ribs. This is on the left side of the field from my perspective. The actual touchdown play was down on the right side of the field. Anyway, his sister sees it and she reacts. It's instinct. She runs onto the field and takes the other player down. Wrong decision? Absolutely. But do I understand why a 16-year-old girl reacted when she saw her little brother on the ground being hit? Absolutely. And that's where I think this conversation should get bigger than just Addison. Because if we're going to tell the families, and we should, stay off the field and let the officials handle it, then somebody on the field has to be handling it. Football is rough. That's the game. I get it. But football has rules for a reason. When pushing and mouthing turns into something more, somebody has got to get control of it before the players decide to handle it themselves. And I'm not here to declare referees the enemy. They've got a hard job. Football moves fast. Calls get missed. I get it. And I've seen grown adults at youth sporting events that have been way worse than kids when it comes to screaming and yelling at officials. But none of that changes the point. When things start getting out of hand, somebody has to step in. And on the field, the refs are the law. They are the sheriff. Everybody says, well, let them play. Well, fine, let them play. I'm all for it. But there's a difference, y'all, between letting kids play and even play a little rough and letting a football game get out of control and turning into something else. And once nobody seems to be in control, people start reacting. If you're listening, you've ever watched a sporting event, if you've got a child in sports, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Please don't act like you don't. Maybe you're one of them that's yelled at the refs or the officials. What I'm saying is that when you ignore the little things, they can become bigger things. That's how something happening at a middle school football game ends up all over the daggone country on the radio and news and crap. There was already enough going on in the game without adding more to it. And while everybody online is arguing, I'd like people to remember something else as well, that these are kids. My daughter is a kid. My son's a kid. The other players that was punching my son is somebody's kid. And you can say that somebody did something wrong without deciding that any of them are terrible people. Especially when you're talking about kids. Now, my daughter is facing real consequences for what she did. I don't know of any consequences about the punching on my son or anything like that. I haven't heard anything about that. But I know that my daughter is facing consequences for what she did. And I'm not saying actions shouldn't have consequences. I'm saying that consequences don't answer the other question, which is, how did we get there? Because if all we do is watch the last few seconds and punish the reaction and move along, we haven't learned a damn thing. Here is where I stand. My daughter shouldn't have gone onto the field. But I will never be ashamed that her first instinct was to protect her little brother. Hear me. I'll tell her that she handled it wrong. I'll tell her that she should have stayed off the field, but I'm not going to pretend I don't understand why she got on the field. I'm her father. I understand why she did it. I ask you to put yourself in the same position. Context matters. It doesn't erase responsibility, but it explains it sometimes. See what I'm saying? Context matters. Not 10 seconds. Try watching the game. You know, that's a distinction that we've almost forgotten how to do in this country. Everything nowadays seems to have a hero and a villain. Pick your side, get mad, write your comment, move on to the next outrage. But real life isn't that simple. Sometimes somebody can make the wrong decision for a reason you completely understand. And sometimes 10 seconds of a video can be completely real while still being nowhere near the whole story. So sure, watch the video, talk about it. That's fair. But remember, the video didn't show you the beginning, it showed you the ending. And if we actually want to understand how things like this happen, and maybe keep them from happening again, we'd better start looking for the fuses. I'm Matt. Thanks for listening. Thank you for your support. Like, share, and subscribe. God bless you. Talk to you next time on In the Line of Faith.